Thank you for joining me. I'm Sami. I was just meditating and getting ready to talk to you all about this Mercury retrograde period, and I just keep feeling and hearing the word presence, and that it's so important right now to just be present in the moment. When Mercury retrograde begins, it's actually in the pre-shadow period, which is 2 weeks prior to the actual start date. So the actual start date of Mercury retrograde is the 30th, which is tomorrow, and it will go until the 20th of February. So it will be direct by the 21st. Okay, there's a 2-week pre-shadow period where that began around the 14th of January. And then there will be another 2-week post-shadow period that will continue on into March. Mercury controls, or at least has a little bit of an influence on our mind, how you think, how you communicate, also travel. So any kind of like cars, planes, trains, ships controls that. Car trouble, that can happen. Car accidents, that can happen. Mostly Mercury retrograde is known for things not going well in relationships, contractual agreements. So you don't want to lock into anything in this period now. If you are dealing with contracts, now is not really a great time to sign anything unless you've gone over it several times, re-examined, etc. You don't want to commit to anything right now as far as relationships or new beginnings. This is the time that we re-examine our lives, reassess certain situations as far as relationships go, and we really have to be very careful how we communicate. If you're having an argument with someone, it is better to talk things through over the phone or in person and leave out all technology. You don't want to text somebody during this time because people are thinking differently, they're getting messages differently, they're saying things different from how they mean, and things can very easily be miscommunicated. And so to me, this was stronger the last 2 weeks. In the pre-shadow period, the miscommunication to me is worse. And then when you actually get into Mercury retrograde, it's more of like really thinking about those things that have happened and like, well, maybe I thought about that wrong, or maybe I took that wrong, or maybe they really weren't understanding how I meant that. So really be careful. You might want to think back to the last 2 weeks, what would have happened, what arguments may have happened, because if there was anything between a family member or any relationship, really a co-worker or a boss, and the energy has really been off, you may want to talk to that person and try to realign or make things better, because it's very possible that things were misconstrued. And so other things during this time with the Leo full moon that happened last night or yesterday afternoon, the moon is still in Leo today. And so we're feeling more passionate, I would say, more heartfelt, trying to be more authentic and genuine with who you are. Leo likes to have fun. Leo is the clown. Leo also represents children and the childlike essence of who you are. You may think back to how things used to be. People may come back from your past during this time with the Mercury retrograde. But you may just be feeling nostalgic about your childhood as well, and wanting to let that inner child out, doing things that you're passionate about, things that open up your creative flow. Now is a great time to do that. You don't want to get in any arguments really right now. Just try to avoid that. But at the same time, it's okay to visit those things mentally. If you are going to talk things through, like I said, try not to do it through the phone, texting or social media or whatever. Don't engage with people who are trying to upset you. Leo can be very dramatic, and people can be trying to call you out or whatever. So be compassionate with others, because everyone feels this, and you know, some people don't understand what is happening, and then so they just feel really strongly, and they don't know where it's all coming from, and it comes out all wrong, and then they hurt you or you hurt them, and it's just a whole mess. So be careful with travel, be careful with communication, and then rethinking things is really important right now. Going over our plans for the future. Mercury does this retrograde period where it gives us a chance to really reflect and think about what we want to change moving forward, what doesn't sit right, what doesn't feel right, what needs to progress, and how we can do that. Being present in the moment is so important, and that's what Spirit was just letting me know, that just observing and surrendering, okay, through the re-examining process, just kind of let it be. We don't want to be trying to force anything right now. We don't want to be trying to control others right now. What feels best to us, and having compassion for others, that's what's going to be the key in understanding them and understanding how we're coming across. Take extra time when you're explaining yourself or speaking things through. You don't want to be short and snippy, and be very careful how you take things that others are projecting onto you, because Leo can be defensive and Leo can be egotistical. So you don't want to get sucked into that where you're feeling, you know, egocentric or arrogant, because then things can really come out wrong. And we don't mean for that to happen, you know, in most cases. And with all this Aquarian energy as well, we're seeing a lot of protests breaking out, and Mercury really just gives us this time to reflect. So Mercury retrograde can cause issues if you don't slow down, take your time, witness, you know, as the observer and from a neutral place, and just kind of let it be. You know, things will end up the best way possible if you just let go and surrender. So if you're feeling the need to, you know, that tense full moon energy, or to grapple with things or over explain yourself or try to make someone see things the way you do, that's not going to be a good time for that right now. I want to do a collective and an all signs, quickly, all signs for the Mercury retrograde period. Understand that this is not going to resonate with everyone, just like any other of the readings that I do. But I do plan on doing more readings more often, so that people can come to the channel and find readings that resonate for them. So I feel like the more I do, the more people can try to find one that will really help them with whatever it is that they're dealing with. That is my goal, my intention. I hope that you understand that it's not going to resonate for everyone, and I'm pretty sure that you guys do. So let's start with a collective. I know there's so much more I wanted to say, but I plan on making more videos over the weekend too. There's just so many. If you guys have any requests or comments about things you want to see or learn about, more things that you want to hear about, or any topics more spiritually related, I do have a few ideas that I'm going to put out this weekend, other than just tarot, because I don't just do tarot. But also, I'm still getting over this sinus infection, so sorry if I'm gross right now. Sorry. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Please give us clarity, clear messages, guidance for the collective. Full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. Show the world the real you. The real you. Not the egoic, controlling. You know, let's try to bless people this time. Let's surprise everybody with how well we deal with this Mercury retrograde. Angels, guides, guardians, creator of all things, universe, and higher dimensionals that only want what is best for us and have our highest good in mind. Please bless this reading, guide us now, give us clarity and perfect interpretations for how we're feeling, what we can expect during this Mercury retrograde period, and guidance for all who hear this message. Thank you, Spirit. So, tell me about the collective. Show me the cards I need to see. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like that's too many, but maybe we'll get some more people will get more out of this. Okay, your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Those of you who've been working towards something, working extra hard, you're doing good. Don't give up yet, okay? You and your loved ones are safe. If you're concerned with safety, feeling insecure, feeling unstable, that energy is still here with Uranus and Mars in Taurus and the Aquarian energy. There's so much happening in Aquarius, and people want freedom. People are willing to fight for it, as we can see with the protests happening worldwide. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. So we're not there yet. This is going to continue on for the next few months and even the next few years until we find more stable ground. Be bold and make the first move. Okay, so for some of you, you will be needing to take action. I don't think you should start something new, but this is like finishing what you start. Being unafraid to take that action. If there's something you've been working on and you've been putting it off, Spirit is saying now's the time, okay? Don't wait. Be bold and make the first move. Is one of the cards that we have. A fiery climax approaches. You and your loved ones are safe and your hard work is paying off. Not really sure when the camera cut off, so sorry. So don't give up. You are safe, even though things may feel unstable right now. We haven't reached the climax yet, but it's coming. As far as what we're expecting, good things are coming. Be bold and make the first move. Also, I want to mention yesterday with the full moon was Jupiter and the Sun conjunct in Aquarius. And Jupiter and the Sun, when they get together, is a really great energy. It's like the luckiest day of the year, and it brings lots of blessings, good things. Things just flow better, and you can expect good things. That energy is still here today. Also want to mention on Wednesday was the 27th, and Venus and Pluto were conjunct. So sexual scandals, finding out things that have been hidden about love and relationships, any kind of suspicion, that sort of energy was at play. Pluto brings out what is hidden, and Venus is usually about love or money. So it could have been money scandals. I'm not sure what day everything came out about GameStop and Reddit and all that, but it's really interesting. So money scandals, sex scandals, anything that's been hidden, any kind of super interesting things like that. And that energy is still here as well. So we may still see things coming out with that. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Tell me about the collective before my battery dies again. Tell me about the collective, please. Okay, Spirit wants an overall energy card first. Tell me about the collective, Spirit. Overall energy for the collective during Mercury retrograde, which I'm going to say is from now for the next 5 weeks, including post-shadow. What is the overall energy for the collective at this time while Mercury is in retrograde? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Yang. Okay. So the yang is about starting new things. It's about taking action. Yang is the masculine energy. So I feel that the masculines are really getting like an upgrade right now. You know, it's time for the masculines to reassess. Also women too, anyone has masculine energy. So maybe it's about getting that in check. Make sure you're not too overbearing. Make sure you're not too much in the masculine energy. What am I doing? And we have fork in the road on the bottom. I'm just gonna take that because I like that. Okay, so yang is starting brand new. It's the masculine and there's a 1 there. So this can be about leadership. This can be about new beginnings, brand new ideas. And this is a really great time for this. With all this energy in Aquarius, we're going to be getting new ideas for innovation and where we're moving forward from here. So all these ideas coming in are really great and encouraging for where we're going to be headed. Fork in the road, obviously many of us through the reassessment period of Mercury retrograde will be feeling influenced to make a change, take the other path, take you know, the road less traveled, or a road maybe we didn't see ourselves on. So if you're in a period, you're in the fork in the road and you're having to make a choice, that is perfectly natural for this time in Mercury retrograde. And new ideas are important as well. So let's remember to keep our masculine energies in check, not trying to control others, not trying to force anything or force others to see things how we do, and control the defensiveness as well. You know, that miscommunication is serious, and it's really easy to misconstrue how someone might say something. I think someone's smelling their grass, like always. But it's fine. It's Friday, right? Happy Friday, I'm so excited. Okay, Knight of Wands. So this can be about taking action, moving forward. I think we see the way that we want to move now as a collective, and we're making breakthroughs, you know, we're pushing through. Knight of Wands is about taking action toward something that is a new beginning, a new creative endeavor, and passionate. So it's how we're feeling emotionally, you know, whatever we're fiery about. A lot of people are fired up and they want to take action. So I think that's really good. We have to be careful though, make sure we're reassessing, re-examining everything through this Mercury retrograde before we decide what's best, what path to take, so we don't do the wrong thing. Tell me more about the collective for Mercury retrograde. Yeah, this card's been coming out so much lately. 6 of Pentacles. This is Libra energy. This is about finding the balance. That's why I say Libra energy. It's actually an Earth card. So it could represent Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. But in reality, there's a scale on there and it just means equal give and take. It's about balance. So it can represent a Libra for you. It doesn't have to. But Libra is about justice and society and what's fair. So this is perfect. I mean, this is what we're doing. We're figuring out what's fair, what feels equal. Are they giving as much as you are? On a world scale, are things fair? We feel so much injustice, and we've been feeling this all year, and many people have been feeling it, you know, for decades. So this is so interesting how Spirit is coming through with this. We want to take action. And so many of us, we're mad, you know? And it's like, we want to fight back. We want our individual freedoms. And the Aquarian energy is like, yeah, go for it. but we have to stay in balance. We have to check ourselves, and this Mercury retrograde period is perfect for that. It's like, is it equal? Is it fair for everyone? Are you biased? Like, are the things that you want really what's best for everyone? And are you looking at the other side and the other side and all the sides? Before you take action, before you choose which road you're gonna take, it has to be fair. Thank you, Spirit. So make sure you're giving just as much as you're receiving. Okay, make sure you're not asking too much of the people around you. Make sure you're being open to how others feel. We have insecurity here, or loss. This is an energy of being left out in the cold, feeling abandoned by others, and that's very possible right now. This is another money card, but this is also about personal security. So if you're feeling abandoned, if you're feeling left out, if you're feeling this injustice, you know, that's like the basis for why we want to take action in the first place and why we want to make change. So this is a good time to heal this within, the insecurities that we all have, and really think about, sometimes we feel victimized by others. Sometimes we feel like we have been left out in the cold. And sometimes that's not true. Sometimes we're looking at it from a very defensive place, and we're coming from a place that is not whole and not healed. So a lot of times I want to say this, that it's really us just playing the victim, and the insecurity comes from within. And sometimes you just have to be willing to fight for what you need and what you want and what's going to make you feel better. And other times you just have to realize it has nothing to do with anyone around you. It's completely you, yourself. Of course, you need to speak up for yourself and demand in a positive, non-violent way that you be respected. I think everyone deserves that. But sometimes we can turn that into that abandonment feeling, that insecurity, and really kind of get bitter towards others and feel like they've done this to us, even towards the government on a world scale. And other times it's, you know, your parents or your lover or your friends. It's like, are you saying how you feel? How you really feel? You know, are you kind of hiding that? Are we able to be authentic and truthful with ourselves, firstly, and with others, and say, like, this is how I really feel, and I'm sorry I freaked out on you, but in truth, I'm just really insecure, and I'm in victim mode, and I'm sorry. And, you know, I have some things I need to work on. I feel like we're all kind of coming from that place on some level. And so it's just about being honest with ourselves, doing major healing, and kind of thinking about, this is a good thing about Leo full moon energy. Leo can be very self-centered, and it's not in a negative way. Leo is like, look, I have to put me first. Like, I have to do what's best for me, because on the world stage, in relationships, you know, it's really easy to kind of forget yourself in the mode of just loving. And that's that Leo energy, so generous and loving. And they love with their whole hearts. So our hearts are definitely involved in this energy. What we want and desire is definitely involved. This inner child, which can bring up these abandonment issues and insecurities. That's what this Leo energy is about. But it's like, I gotta figure out me. Like, I need to figure out what the heck I'm doing before we can make this happen. And so this Mercury retrograde is definitely bringing up this energy of like, I gotta make sure I'm good. Like, I'm not being selfish. I'm not putting you, you know, aside or putting you on the back burner. It's just like, can we just agree that we all need to work on ourselves right now? Yes. The Empress. So this time is ripe for creating new things. You don't want to step in to create new projects, but I mean really pulling in what it is you want to manifest. You can start to manifest those things right now. I wouldn't take action on brand new things right now. This is like finishing what you start, completing the project, having this super attractive energy right now. Leo is attractive, and they're like the superstar. And that's why they often become the center of attention. But, you know, it comes with drama and other things too. But this Empress, she is creating new things. She births new ideas. She is abundant and beautiful. And she's the mother energy represented by just fertility. So this is a very fertile time for new ideas. This is about growing, expanding, changing, bringing in, calling in your abundance, figuring out where you're going from here and how you can create that. How can you create what you actually want into the physical world around you? Like, how can we make this a material, real thing that we can touch and see and feel? And I think that's that energy. The Empress is Aries, and so that's more of that fire energy of like, I need to do me. I need to do what's best for myself. And when you do that, I mean, you're hot, you know, you're confident, you're focused on yourself and what's best for you. And then it's like, you can give to others too, but you just got to make sure you're good. Okay, we have High Priestess. So this time Mercury retrograde gives us a chance to connect to spirit, to figure out where we're going, how we truly feel. Anytime we're given a chance to re-examine things, it's so important to go within and meditate and really figure out where the feelings that we have are coming from and what we can do to change them. A lot of times, I mean, you get so much clarity just from meditating for like 2 minutes. It's insane how much clarity comes. So High Priestess can also be Piscean energy. High Priestess actually in the tarot is number 2, and then Empress is number 3. So I think this is about what we can create in the physical through the Empress. And that starts with the High Priestess. It starts with how we connect to spirit, how we connect with our higher selves. And the High Priestess energy is about subconsciously creating. So thoughts become things, right? This is huge when it comes to manifesting. Anything that you think can become your reality. So this is about creating what we want in the physical by controlling the mind, controlling our thoughts, controlling how we feel subconsciously. Really thinking, I mean, this is deep, and Mercury retrograde feels deep. So this is about how we feel, getting to the root of this insecurity, getting to the root of why we feel things are so unequally balanced, what we want in the future, what we're willing to fight for, how we want to see our futures grow and change, and the abundance that we want to call in. It all comes down to how we feel subconsciously about ourselves, our expectations for the world, and how we believe our lives are going to turn out. All of these things can be changed through perception and changed through controlling your thoughts, catching yourself when you're in that negative mode of negative self-talk. And it's so important because this is how we create. So Spirit is saying you can create, and I really want you to think about what you want, because you can have it. You can absolutely have it, but it has to be in alignment with how you truly feel, and emotionally and subconsciously. If you feel you want to create something, but deep down you think I can never have it, it's never gonna become the physical. My music just got really loud. Sorry. So next we have 7 of Wands, which is, what are you willing to fight for? And what kind of doesn't seem worth it anymore? This is all part of this reassessment of Mercury retrograde, okay? This is a defensive energy, but it doesn't have to be negative. It can just be standing up for yourself, speaking up, you know, when you feel someone isn't hearing you out. And it's standing up for your truth and authenticity, not accepting things just because you're being told them. That's a huge thing right now. We're starting to see glimpses more and more of the media kind of showing their true colors, and government powers kind of showing their true colors, things coming out about world events. And so this is a time to not just sit down and shut up. This is a time to not just do what you're told because that's what you're told. This is a time to really say no. Stand up for yourself, stand up for your authenticity, regardless of how many people are policing and, you know, the sheep. Don't go into the herd. Don't give up on how you feel. Stand in that. Remind people of all the inaccuracies. That's very important right now, that we don't just give up. Okay, and last but not least, we have Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords can be a feeling of being trapped. It can also be a feeling of not being able to see, not knowing what's ahead, and just kind of feeling in an uncomfortable, insecure place. We don't know what's ahead. We don't know what the future holds, but we know we can fight for something. We know we want equality. We know we have these inner conflicting ideals about who we are, and the defensive sort of energy of Leo may be pulling those things out right now. People may say things to you, bring things up about you that really show you where your insecurities lie and what needs to be healed. And this is important going forward. This fork in the road, I think we all kind of feel this is a huge turning point for humanity. Like, where do we want to end up? So much is coming out, so much is changing, and it's happening really fast. So now we get this chance. But we have to heal within. We have to heal these insecurities and this victimization and pointing the blame everywhere else, and just really kind of take accountability and not staying in this negative, fearful place. Going forward with fearlessly, like, I can't see what's ahead, but I'm comfortable enough with spirit and in my faith and trusting the universe and my own creative abilities and how I create my reality and my own concept of how I control my thoughts and staying positive and that type of thing, that I can surrender right now. And though I may not see the future, I know that there's so much I can be doing right now, and there's so much I can stand up for and speak my truth. There's so much I can do as far as connecting to spirit. There's so much I can do as far as creating my reality, attracting the abundance I deserve, attracting and manifesting the future for all. We can meditate for what we want for humanity. That's huge. Visualization for where we want the planet to go. That's huge. And the way we've been affected the last year, it's affected everyone. And that's so great. Like, it wasn't just one group, it wasn't just one country, it was everyone. And seeing these shakeups and seeing these protests, we all feel the same within. So we can't let people tell us, sit down, you don't get a say. This is an important time for us to re-examine our thoughts, why we feel the way we do, heal within, find equality. And I know it's so much to experience in Mercury retrograde, but this is what is being highlighted. And I love this. Thank you, Spirit, for this reading. I'm going to charge my battery, and I will see you in the next reading, where I will do all signs for Mercury retrograde. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and share if you think others could find this message beneficial.